In this video, I'm going to give you a short tutorial on how to use Photostory to complete your Photostory final project. What Photostory is a piece of software made by Microsoft that will allow you to take pictures and music and combine them to make a video. First step is to make sure that you have Photostory already installed. It's for Windows only, any version can use it. To start, click on Start, go up to Programs, and check that you have Photostory installed. If you do not see it in your programs list, then you would go and open Internet Explorer, in Google, type Photostory 3, and then you could download it from the Microsoft website once it loads. And then you could download it from the Microsoft website. You would make sure that it's photostory.msi and click on Continue. Then you follow the prompts on the next screen and it will show you how to install Photostory. I'm not going to install it since it's already on this machine. Once you run through the install process, go back to Start, Programs, make sure that Photostory is in your Programs folder. You can then open Photostory. Make sure that you have Begin a New Story selected and click Next. The other options do not apply in this tutorial. Here is a blank Photostory screen. As you can see, it's to import and arrange your pictures. In order to obtain pictures, you either have to have them on your flash drive from your own camera, or you could download them from the internet. In order to do that, we're going to go to Start, Programs, and open up Internet Explorer again. Click on Google Images. From the Google Images screen, you're going to type in the subject that you're looking for. If you don't know the subject that your Photostory is supposed to be on, just check with the project instruction paper or check with a classmate. I'm going to do this on whales since there are plenty of pictures of them. Now as you see, I have a ton of pictures here, but not all of them are usable. The first thing that I want to make sure is that I have the proper size. So on the left hand column, under any size, I'm going to click Larger Than and make sure I select 640 by 480. Additionally, to make sure that I'm not using copyrighted images, I move over to Advanced Search, click that, go down to where it says Usage Rights, and make sure that it's labeled for reuse. If you select this, you can be sure that none of your pictures are copyrighted. Scrolling down, you can see some pictures of whales. To download them, you click on the image, click on Full Size Image, right-click on the full-size image, and Save Picture As. Click on the desktop so that they're readily available. And I always suggest right-clicking in this window, go to New and Folder. Type Photostory, double-click that new folder that you just made, and then click Save. You then click back and download more pictures. Now the average Photostory has 12 pictures. You're going to want to check again and make sure how many pictures you need for your specific project. Again, to right-click, Save Picture As, make sure you're in that Photostory folder that you just created in the last step, and click Save. Go back to the image search, scroll down a little more, click on a picture, click Full Size Image, right-click on the picture, click Save. Make sure you're in the Photostory folder, and click Save. And again, do this as many times as you need. Because time is limited on this video, I'm only going to do 3 images. Once you're done with the images and you're satisfied, you then click Close to shut out Internet Explorer. You no longer need the internet for this project. Back to your Photostory window. You find your Photostory folder newly created on the desktop. You open that folder and you'll see the images are inside of it because you've saved them all there to the desktop in the Photostory folder. You can then drag them into the Photostory. Just right-click on the image, hold down the mouse, drag it over to the Photostory, release the mouse, and the image drops right in. Once they're all in the Photostory program, you can then arrange them. To arrange them, you simply drag them and drop them. Drag them by holding down the mouse button, it's the left mouse button, put it where you want it, and drop it down. Now, click on your first image. You can click on this here, remove black borders, and it will remove any black borders in your images. You can move the box around. What remove black borders does is removes any dead space or black borders that are meant to fill in the image. Think of it as an automatic crop tool. Once you're satisfied, you click yes. Photostory will analyze the next picture. If you're satisfied, keep clicking yes. If not, you can rearrange the screen simply by dragging it around. Photostory has completed. You click OK, and you're done with importing and arranging your pictures. You now move on to the next section. In this section, you're going to add titles to the picture. Not every picture needs a title. Titles are to describe what the picture is supposed to be representing, or what you want to emphasize in the picture. It should not be a sentence, and it should not be what you plan to say. It is simply a title to describe what the picture represents. So for this, I will type. Now, since you can't see it where it is, use these alignment buttons. You can move it up, down, left, right, until you're happy with the alignment. If after aligning the picture, you are not happy with the way it appears, you can click this button here. As you can see, I've made the font size 22. I've changed the color to fuchsia, and it shows up nice and big. On the next screen, simply added the title, clicked Align Top, and it shows jumping nice and clear in black font. If I want, I can go ahead, make it bold, since it just make it stand out a little better. And as I said before, every picture does not need a title, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this blank. Once you've reviewed your titles and you're happy with them, you can then click on the next button right here to move on to the next section of the Photostory program. In this section of Photostory, I would recommend that you start on your first picture, since Photostory will continue on the last picture that you were editing. So to start on your first picture, make sure that this blue box here is on the first image. Photostory provides this box for you, so you can type whatever notes you want in the Photostory. I'm going to type some notes and show you how this box is used. As you can see, these notes here are for my use only. Punctuation, spelling, it doesn't matter, as long as you can read it and speak it clearly. So, to record your voice in Photostory, you simply click on the red button here and speak. If you get an error asking you if you want to change the audio settings, you click No. Once you see the time going, that means you are recording. And then when you are done speaking, you can click Stop, and that will complete the recording. So I click Stop right here, and it shows I have a 12-second recording on my first slide. By clicking on the next slide, I can then repeat the process. Now, this says that you can delete a recording easily. So I will click Record, make sure I don't change these audio settings. This will happen on some computers, but not all computers. It depends on your microphone configuration. If you have any problems, just speak to a lab assistant. Click No to make sure that you don't change the microphone settings, and then you start recording. If the recording is going how you want it, fine. If not, you then click Stop, make sure you're on the slide that you want to delete, and remove that recording. It asks you if you're sure, click Yes, and then you type what you really wanted to say. Then you click Record, make sure you don't change the microphone settings, and you say what you really wanted to say, and then you say it properly, make sure that you're pronouncing clearly, and then you click Stop. Once you're done, you click on the first slide, click Preview, and it will show you your photo story.
That means you are recording. And then when you are done speaking,
once you're happy with the preview, you can then move on to the next section. If you're not, you click on the slide that you're not happy with, delete the recording, and then record over it. This screen also allows you to customize the motions of your photo story. However, I will not get into that in this video, simply because of time constraints. On the next section of the photo story is where you would add the music. Now, while music might be a requirement, I will show it quickly, but I cannot get into depth because of time requirements. You simply click on Create Music, pick a genre, pick a style, make sure the volume is low so it does not overpower your voice, and then you click OK. It will add that music track to your whole photo story. If you want more variety in music, or if you want different types of music or your own personal music, please speak to a classmate or a lab assistant. I wanted to remind everybody at this time to save their project. If you do not save your project so that it can be edited, once you save it, there is no going back and you'll have to start over. To do that, you can click Save Project. Navigate to the Photostory folder that you created on your desktop and click Save. It'll take a little bit of time, and then you see Photostory pop up right there. This icon means it's a file that you can edit. The Save Project button is on every section of Photostory, where you add your pictures, add the titles, and where you narrate. I recommend that you save, and save often, so that you don't have to repeat any portion of this, due to an accidental crash or any other mishap. Once you're happy with it, you can then go on to the last step, save it for playback on the computer, click Browse, go to the desktop, go to the Photostory folder, title it with your name, make sure it's saved as a Windows Media file, and then click Save. Once that's done, you then click Next, and it will build the photo story. This will take a few minutes. I'm going to pause the video. Once it's done, you'll see a screen that looks like this, where you could view your story or create another story. If you want to view it, go ahead and click this button. For now, I'm going to click Exit. As you can see, in the Photostory folder, which is right here, you now have your pictures, something you can edit, and something that you're going to hand in. The one you're going to hand in is going to have this WMV extension. It'll be a movie file. If you double click it, it should open up in Windows Media Player, VLC, whatever you have selected. You're then going to burn this to a CD and hand it in for grading. For that, you go into My Computer and have a blank CD at hand. Double click on your CD drive, drag it in, click Write these files to CD, and follow the prompts on the screen. That concludes the Photostory demonstration.